Yes, we are live. Today is a different day. Kudzo and Priscilla here from Further Together, Enriching Relationship, Creating a Better Future.
That's right. We are so excited to be on the platform again tonight. And we want to say a big thank you to all our supporters, all of you guys who watch the show, who like, who comment, who pray, and who also share whatever programs that we put up to you guys. You never know how much one person or two need such a message. So thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, yes. So if you are just joining us, please just show us by a thumbs up, a heart, and all those things which you normally do. You can just type in. Tonight we have special guests who carry a different mantle. There are some people you say to yourself, I wish I was part of this journey, but thank God that I have managed to be part of it along the way. Uh, Hey, Mr. Temi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in.
Hey guys, thank you for joining in.
One thing which you have learned about marriage is when you are getting married, of course, we look at the outward beauty, you look at, the dimples and the hips and all this stuff. But marriage can be more than that. Marriage is a convergence of dreams, a convergence of vision, convergence of the love of God. And this is what we're going to hear tonight from a special couple, from two wonderful people who have been tried and tested, and to the glory of God, they are here with us. Lillian and Mkoba Daniel, how are you?
Fine, fine. How are you? We are very excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
It's good to see you. It's good to have you, especially this time. How was the lockdown?
Wow, we were locked down. But we thank God that all this time we've been locked in and things are starting to ease, and we've been saved from the pandemic, so that's a good thing as well.
Yes. You know what? Let me just make a booking. Everybody's hearing it. It's on Facebook. Now the lockdown has been. I mean, it's now ease. I'm coming for barbecue.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes, why
Oh
not?
yes.
You are more than welcome.
I
yeah,
remember I invited you last time we met, so yes,
yeah.
it's
So,
still
so
open.
the sun is coming out. The lockdown has been eased, so everything is now falling in place.
Yes,
Yes.
now we can get back to our normal life.
I
Yes, yes.
really need to see people because I've been shielding and I haven't seen people. So if you come over, it would be very much appreciated.
So we're gonna be the first to come over at yours.
Yes, yes. We've told everyone we know first dibs to our house. Everyone comes to our house.
We need it. We need it. Guys, if you're just joining us, please share this live broadcast, share it with your family, with your friends. Let them know that tonight will be a mind transforming life. This testimony, I can hear it over and over and over. And I keep wondering how God is amazing and how God has taken you through such a difficult moment.
There's some people when they're giving a testimony, you look at them and you ask yourself, is he a human being? Is he a man? That's the feeling which
When-
I had when I was hearing the testimony. I looked at him and I'm saying, is he a human being?
You're out of this world.
you know, when people say God works in mysterious ways, sometimes he just, brings out the beast in somebody, or he just does things in an amazing way that, beyond belief, that you can
Yes.
actually, sort of tap into some of the powers that you didn't even know you had, and it's all to the glory of God, really.
Amen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to RB Mega Plus. She is a great musician, all the way from Nigeria. If you need to book her for any reason, please do get in touch. RB Mega Plus. Collect money. Thank you for joining us. Minister Temi, we've just seen your share right there. Thank you for sharing. And yes, guys, tonight will bless not only couples, it will bless individuals as well. So do share the program. We're going to get straight into it. Mr. Coffee, you'll give us a quick background of what issues people encounter in marriage. We have encountered sickness as well at some point in our marriage, and we know how difficult that stage can be in life.
Definitely, like I mentioned before, that when we are looking for partners, we always look at the outward beauty. You look at the teeth, the eyes, the hips, and the young ones, they say hips don't lie.
They don't lie. But they can.
You know what? Sometimes we reach a point whereby all those things they are overshadowed by health challenges. And we were once there where we spent the whole month in the hospital with Priscilla. It was quite a trying time, but thank God with us it was just a month, and the phase passed out, and we have somebody who has been there and he's still pushing on, and
again and again.
God has been strengthening him. And guys, for it is just for this reason that we have invited this couple, so that they will share with you the power of God as well as the power of two. Where two.
That's right.
The book of Timothy says, Amos says, can two work together unless they agree? So there was agreement on this.
Yes.
One thing I must say that is so profound with you guys is that where research tells us that a lot of women get dumped, they get left with their husband because they've encountered a health crisis. And sometimes we may look at it like they never loved each other from the beginning. And some may justify that men are not very good carers, they're not good caregivers. So when that situation comes, they run for their life. But here we have a couple that have gone through it.
So Lillian and Daniel, would you be kind enough to share with us how did it all started?
Thank you very much. And before I start, I just want to say everything that we go through and anything that might happen in our lives, it's a phase, it's a season, it's a process, and God is always in control. There's never a time, good or bad, that God loses control over our lives, because He is our creator and He is our maker. Therefore, He is always in control. So when you get into a situation and you tell yourself God is in control, then everything just flows. No matter how frightening the situation is, just tell yourself God is in control. My situation started last year in June. I just started off with one of my eye just getting a squint. I could call it a squint, I don't know, because it just went left and it wouldn't move right or to the center. And I went to see my GP, who told me to go for to the eye specialist. And he did some tests, and they concluded that it was a mini stroke. When they said that, I was a bit worried. I thought, at my age and I'm getting a stroke, how come? I was a bit puzzled. I even cried in the car to say, how can I get a stroke at my age? If it was mini, which means a big one is coming.
Yeah.
But I thank God for Daniel, because when I started crying, he said to me, if you cry, is that going to change the situation? And I said, no. So he says, stop crying and focus on God. Start praying. Instead of crying, pray. So I asked the guy what would happen, what was the treatment, and he said, give it 6 weeks and it should all rectify itself.
All right.
6 weeks came. I woke up one morning, the other one had done the same as the other one, but this time my eyelids had dropped, so I could not see unless I lifted up my eyes like that.
Wow.
And I thought, okay. So they said 6 weeks. The other one has gone. When it was morning, they would open, and then, but I couldn't see left, right. All I could see was what was in front of me. I went back to my GP. He said that if they've said it's a stroke, then you just need to wait. 2 days later, my hands started falling apart. They just went like, I have to show you because I don't have a word for it. They were like this.
Wow.
I could not hold anything or touch anything because my fingers would not cooperate.
There
was no strength in them. So I went back to my GP and he said, go back to the hospital, but this time don't come back unless they tell you what is wrong with you and they start treating you. So I went back to our local hospital and they said, like we said, it's a mini stroke. And then they looked at the CT scan and they said, no, that wasn't a mini stroke because there's no blood in your brain. So it wasn't a mini stroke. And then I was seen by a consultant, and by this time my legs had deteriorated. But I thought because my eyes could not see, that was what was affecting to my legs as well. Little did I know that it was also a deterioration of my legs. I could not walk properly. I was walking like a baby learning to walk.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, what is happening? You start to worry, you think, what is happening to me? I've never seen this. I've never had anyone suffer from such a condition. What is this? But the good thing about the God that we serve, he speaks to us every time. It's just that we are too busy to listen. The minute I went into hospital, God spoke to me. He said, you will be fine. And then I thought, I need, because we've got a prayer group in our local area. So I thought, I need to inform the prayer people to start praying. But God said, no, you don't need those people to pray for you. You need to pray for yourself. This is your own battle, which you are going to pray for yourself. And then I thought, okay, I'll play a fast one on God. I'll ask my husband to post for me. Instead of me posting, he will post. You always think you are clever than God, but we are not.
Yes.
So I thought, I'll play a fast one. He will post that. So I woke up in the morning, there was no post, and I'm thinking, does this man realize how much I need prayer? I am deteriorating here. And then I said, I didn't ask him because I was too ashamed to say to him, why didn't you post to tell people that I am ill? So I thought, okay, he will post today, or when he comes to see me in the evening, I'll ask him why he hasn't done the post to tell people that I'm ill on the prayer group. But God kept on saying, this is your own battle. Fight it yourself.
Wow.
Pray for yourself. You will be fine. And I thought, okay, that's fine. So I was seen by a neuro specialist who works in a hospital in London.
Actually, there was a bit of a miracle there because the hospital actually discharged you.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The hospital has said, we are discharging you because we need you to go to London on Monday for a test, an electrical test. So we'll discharge you, and then you have to drive on Monday for that test in London. And I said that was fine. And I said, I'll drive to Scotland as long as you tell me what is wrong with me. Because I could feel my body was shutting down slowly.
But you didn't know what was wrong.
No, I didn't know what was wrong. And if it had been something that I had seen, or I had seen somebody suffer from it, then maybe I would have thought, oh, this was what so and so suffered from. But this was totally different. Eyes gone, hands, jaw, I couldn't chew, my jaw was gone. I couldn't chew my own food. Swallowing was a problem. I had to swallow small amounts of food. And I thought, this is this is a very strange thing.
It is.
So after the discharge forms were done, they decided no. The consultant decided no, I need to do more tests on you. So I'm transferring you to a neurological hospital in London. And I was transferred from our local hospital to the hospital in London, where I went through tests. Every day I went through 3 or 4 tests, and none of them were coming back positive.
Very invasive test as well.
Very invasive. I can't even explain it. Every day I would go through 3, 4 tests, and then he would come back and say nothing, negative. And I'm thinking, but what is happening to me? But he had told me the condition that I'm suspecting you have, it's very, very rare. And then after about 3 weeks, that's when they said, we are going to do an electrical test on you.
All right.
And what was that test which I thought they were testing for cancer?
It's antibody test.
The antibody test. When they said that one, I said, oh my God, this is cancer, because antibodies are tested when they are looking for cancer.
Yes.
I said, that's fine. So I went for that electric test. It is painful. They put needles in you, in your veins, to test the strength in your veins, in your muscles. So they have to use needles. And then they have a small hammer which tests for your muscles, which goes hammering all over your body.
Yeah.
You are on electricity.
Done that to me.
Yeah, then that you have as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, when they finished, I actually made an appointment to cry in the toilet. I said, as soon as they take me back to the ward, I'm just going to grab my towel, go in the toilet, and I want to cry. I actually made a date to cry. Instead of saying to myself, I want to pray, I said, I want to cry.
Yes.
I got to the ward, I took my towel straight to the toilet, turned on the shower, ready to cry. Before I could even cry, those days I had been listening to a song by Hillsong, which the title is Oceans. And it says, my soul will rest in your embrace, because I am yours and you are mine.
Yes.
Before I could even cry, I tell you this, I felt God's embrace. I felt it so much that I actually looked back to see if he was there. And I heard a strong voice tell me, it is okay. It's fine. Don't cry. I did not cry. I took my shower, which I couldn't. I just stood there in front of the shower because my hands were not working anymore. My feet were not working. I could only stand, but not for a long time. So after that test, that's when they came back with my diagnosis. And I thank God, because even that neurologist to come to me, it was all God's plan. It was all in God's plan, because the way it happened, the way he approached me, I had been seen by another neurologist before, and he just brushed me off. He just said, why are you dragging your legs? I said, I'm not dragging them.
Why aren't you opening your eyes?
Yeah, why aren't you opening your eyes? I said, it's not because I want to keep them shut. They are just dropping themselves. I wish I knew what is happening. And then he just took his bag and walked off. And I thought, does he really think I really want this, or I'm playing up? Or even if I was playing up, would I come to hospital? But God had a plan. That wasn't my neurologist. He had a special one for me. That was on his way. So God dismissed that one and sent me the perfect doctor. I couldn't ask for anything more or less on that doctor. He was God sent. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Amazing. I just want to find out from your husband, how did you cope with the diagnosis? You know, she had gone through a number of tests and they couldn't find what it was. And then finally they tell you what it is. How did you cope with that?
Well, you know, initially when she was going through the stages of not being well, it was actually a very worrying time, because you could see that her body was shutting down. And, you know, one day she can see that she can do something, and then the next she can't actually do it. So it was a period where it was just full of, you know, what's the next thing? What's going to happen next? And that was not a good thing at all. So finally, when we got the diagnosis, that was actually much more like a relief. Now knowing what is actually wrong. Although, you know, with all of that, we still thanked God that, you know, you've actually now opened up and you've actually linked us to the right people. You know, this is a very rare condition which only affects a few people out of a million, I think 4 in a million. So as a result, it was just like we've been directed to the people who actually specialize within that particular, with the particular disease. So it was almost like, right, okay, this is a relief. And the first thing they told us was, you're not going to die. And for us, it was thank God. that, just knowing that, right, we know what it is, but yeah, God is in control now, and this is how it's going to be. So for me, I think just knowing that diagnosis was much more like, I'm relieved. Although it wasn't a good thing, it was just a relief.
Oh, wow. So in your case, normally the carers do get affected as well. Sometimes it's mentally. Caring for a sick spouse is challenging on its own. How do you think your mental health was at that moment when you were caring for her?
It's when she got the diagnosis, they started her on some treatment. They actually gave her some treatment while she was in hospital. And for us at this point, we had this relief that, now know what it is. She's got, a bit of treatment. She's going to be fine. So she came home. But then this is where things actually now started even worse, because even with the treatment, she got weaker and weaker. From the time she came back from the hospital, now she needed personal care. She needed me to dress her up. She needed me to do everything really for her. She couldn't even brush her own hair. I'd brush her own hair. I even had to go doing her makeup because she wants to look good. I can't say I did it very well, but I tried.
Well done.
It is actually quite mentally draining. I think for me, it was much more the fact that I could, over the years, when this happened, it was 21 years into our marriage. I'd never done any personal care. The only time I'd actually even given a shower or bath was more in intimate times rather than, now this is actually care. So now having to do it,
Now it was different.
it is actually quite draining.
Yeah.
I remember there was one particular day I was giving her a shower, and she couldn't lift her arm because I wanted to wash her armpits. So I held the arm up so I could do it. But then while I was doing it, I forgot that she can't actually control her arm. So I just let go, and it just dropped, and she hit the bathtub. For me, that was like, whoa, what have I just done? So mentally, that was actually quite draining. So what I did was I sort of just sprayed myself with the shower in my face, but really, I was actually crying behind that water on my face now. I didn't want her to see the tears. But, with all of that, really, I think one of the good things is God kept saying to me, you've got to keep on. And he gave me the strength, really, to do all of that. I kind of sort of was put into a different mode where I could just do things without even thinking about, why am I doing this? Or, how long is this going to be? For me, it was just like, if it's life, then this is how it's going to be. And, that actually kept me going.
Before you take us to where God took you in the autopilot, we want to go slightly backward. That now she's home and it's getting worse. How was it, and what got worse, and how are you living together then?
At that time, you could tell obviously she couldn't barely do anything. I had to dress her up all the time, and as things were going, one day I think I would actually cook food for her. As you can see, she talks a lot. That never actually was affected. So as a result, I would cook food for her, and then she would say, "Oh, your food is actually quite rubbery," and I didn't actually understand what was going on. And I would think, "Oh, I thought my cooking has always been good. I've been cooking for ages. It's not like I started cooking then." But it only took a while for me to actually fully understand that, right, okay, she can't actually chew because the jaws have weakened. And their taste was going. So, sometimes she would say, "Oh, you didn't, put any seasoning in this." And then she'll be putting lots of chili in there and she still can't taste it. So all of those things, just to look at her and you think, this person has been so independent and all of a sudden it's gone. That was emotionally draining.
And for you, Lillian, for some people, they report feeling guilty, having your husband to do all the chores. Obviously, you couldn't do anything at that stage. He's cooking for you. He's giving you the personal care. He's looking after the children as well. How did it feel for you?
I think for me, I should start off by saying I thank God. I never thanked God for him before, but at that moment I realized I don't thank God enough for my husband. Because after coming back from hospital, being in hospital for a long time, and then watching him do all the work, I'm not the easiest person to live with, if I may say. I'm very
Yes.
I'm very particular and very fussy, and everything has to be in its place. I like to have a clean house. So for me to have that my cleaning taken away, he does it better than me when he does it. But the cleaning, the cooking, I did not feel bad about it because it's something that we'd always take in turns to do. But I think for me, I can't say I was, maybe I should say it was embarrassing for me, for him to do my personal care, because it got so bad to the point that I could not get off the toilet sometimes. I could walk to the toilet, sit on the toilet. Getting up the toilet was now an issue. I couldn't. To a point that we'd come up with a plan that if we have visitors and I go to the toilet, you give me 5 minutes. If I'm not back, then it means I can't get off the toilet. So you have to come and help me. That was just, I was so embarrassed.
By helping you, you mean just helping you to stand up, or he would literally clean you?
So it got to that point where sometimes he would clean me, but you know what? Let me be honest. Sometimes you would think I've cleaned myself. I wouldn't. I would say I've cleaned because I didn't want him to go there. It was just too embarrassing for me to let him do that. But he would offer. He would say, "I'm okay. It's okay. I'll do it." But I felt like if I let him do that, then it's like I know I'm now a cabbage. I can't do anything for myself. Which was also a very scary moment for me, that if he starts cleaning me, then it means I've lost all control of my life. And that was embarrassing. I've never felt so much embarrassment. It was less guilt, more embarrassment.
Less guilt. I totally understand that. And for you, supporting your wife, and a lot of men wouldn't stick around.
Yeah, they would have gone there.
Actually, research shows that about 6 times, 6 times a woman will get divorced in such a situation. But for you, you stuck around. Why did you stick around?
Do you know, one of the things that mainly come up is when you're in a marriage, you make those vows when you get married, isn't it? In sickness and in health. And sometimes you're just saying these things because, you've been asked to say them. And, you don't actually know what the full extent of this in sickness and in health actually means. And as I could see it deteriorate on a daily basis, sometimes I'd ask myself, how long is this going to go for? But then you'd also think, Rake, if I don't look after, who is actually going to do it? Because while she was leaving hospital, she was offered some statutory care. And, we just said, no, we don't want that, because, you'd have different carers coming in. And that's even opening up your whole body for everybody to be seeing. And for that reason, it was just like, Rake, we're here anyway. So what's the reason for me to go? I've got to stick around. I've been with her, for all these years. We've had times where we've had no money. We've had times where things have been so difficult. We've had times where things were so good. And this is one of the moments where things are not so good. Why should I now think about leaving? And those vows that we made about in sickness and in health, this is now where it actually means in sickness and in health. And you do actually have to be, that part there. It's almost like, if your left hand doesn't work, you've got to compromise, and you've got to use your right hand to, make sure you can manipulate it in many ways so it does both jobs. And this is it, we are a partnership, and that partnership really means if one is down, the other one has to pick up. And, it's not like I would say, I expect you to do the same if I was in that position. But, for me, this is my commitment and I'll stand by it.
Powerful, great at keeping commitments. Well done to you for that.
I'm coming back to you, Daniel. They say the number one need for a man in a relationship is sex. And
Mhm.
there we are now. Was there an intimacy there? And, you know, if at all, what was
You take her
happening?
for personal care and you give her all of that.
Where was the man you knew?
I think, you know, again, it's almost like when you are married, like I was giving an example about, you know, if my left hand doesn't work, you know, my right has to, you know, actually, you know, take that position. One of the things that actually, you know, sort of got us going was the fact that she's now down. You know, it would be too selfish for me to start thinking about myself, isn't it? You know, when she's sick, I'm actually ill emotionally myself because I'm already attached to her, you know, 100%. So if I start thinking about, oh, you know, sex, really, it doesn't make any sense. You know, like you said right at the beginning, some people look at, you know, the facial, you know, looks or the hips or the legs. But one of the things that I must say, you know, even going back to the book of Genesis, before when God created Adam, he put him to sleep, and then he created Eve, and then, you know, when he woke up, he just said, "Oh, the flesh of my flesh," you know, and it wasn't about beauty there. It was about having this connection, and that connection is what we actually long for, and that's the connection we have. So, you know, if she's not well, I'm not looking at, oh, you know, she can't satisfy me sexually, so I should maybe try and find other ways. But no, it's not about that. If she's ill, I'm mentally ill, I'm emotionally ill, and I have to be with her, and everything else shuts down. It doesn't mean we stop loving each other, but it just shuts down, and you focus on what's there for that particular moment. And you know what? We're actually enjoying the best moments now, aren't we? You know, it was worth the wait.
Also, maybe if I can add to it, when it comes to intimacy, I think it also brings down to who is the center of that relationship. Because if your relationship is centered on money, the moment that money is no longer there, that relationship is doomed. If your relationship is centered on sex, the moment there's no sex, that relationship is doomed.
Oh, yeah.
But if your relationship is God-centered, God does not move. He's not moved. He does not change. Therefore, if your relationship is centered on God, then it will not be shaken. It will not be moved. You stay strong in the storms. You will not even think, I'm not getting any sex from this person, because I think sex will be the last thing on your mind. Your main focus will be, let's get this person better, or how best can I make my other half comfortable, before you start thinking about. I think sex is in the mind. The minute you start thinking about sex, it shows that the care or the focus for your partner has also shifted.
So can you say that you managed to keep a healthy relationship whilst going through the health challenge?
Oh yes, most definitely. I think you know, these are testing times anyway. But generally, you know, you just, when we got married, and you know, over the years, there are certain things that you start to take, you know, kind of for granted. Yeah, because you just know, oh, I'm going to work, I'm coming back, she's here, or she goes to work, she comes back, I'm here. And you know, sometimes you don't even pass the compliments, and you know, some of the little things. I remember one day after I gave her a shower, and I was brushing her hair, and I said, "Oh, you actually do look beautiful, even if your eyes are closed." You know, and with that there, it's that moment where you actually start to look at somebody again really close and like, whoa, how? Because I took her for granted because I knew she was there, and now I'm having that more attachment, you know, with the personal, you know, things that are actually going on at that particular time. I think that actually strengthens you rather than push you away.
Yes.
Yes.
So, you know, how long did this whole period took? Can we say, you know, like up until she recovered to stand by herself? How long did it take?
From the time it started, it was June last year, and she came out of hospital towards the end of November. That's when things started to improve. And you know, that's, I would say, about 5 months at the time. But still, you know, we still have problems, but they're not as bad as that.
Yeah, that period that was really bad. I think we could say it's between 5 to 7 months.
Yes.
That was the really bad time.
So these are 7 months, and Daniel was the one who is caring for the wife, looking after the family, and all that just for the sake of standing and being a father.
Yes.
I want to really find out, you know, the issues of family dramas. Sometimes the family comes to you and tells you, if you were in Zimbabwe, they would probably tell you, can you send her to a family home and let them care for her? And when she's well, they can tell you to bring her over.
You are a man. You can't be washing your wife, you know.
Doing all stuff, washing dishes, taking care of the children. Did you encounter family drama at whatever stage, and how did you overcome it?
I mean, from my side, I've got family in this country and obviously family in Zimbabwe. But I think my family was so supportive. You know, I can't fault any one of them. You know, they'll take turns to come and visit. You know, they'll be calling every time. And, you know, mostly weekends when they're off, they'll be here. There'll be, you know, so many people around, you know, helping me with the cooking. And I remember one friend actually came one day and said, well, you know, let's go out, you know, because your nieces are here, just to give me that little break from it all. But then we had also some other, you know, sort of friends or, you know, long distance friends and people saying, why don't you try this, you know, or, you know, fly to Nigeria, you know, there's some people there who could help. And one, you know, friend, again, we actually ended up having to lose the friendship because, you know, she decided that the whole thing wasn't working, and she had her own ideas in terms of, well, this isn't working, so maybe we should call a mom and, you know, bring a mom over from Zimbabwe. But then for me, it was just like, you know, I can manage, I can cope. I even remember, you know, having this conversation with my mother-in-law saying, I'm coping very well. I don't actually need anybody else to come and help us. And, you know, you get all that sort of people, you know, with some people who we never actually used to speak to, but giving us phone numbers of some, you know, witch doctors or some, you know, sorcerers to help us.
There's people in Luton you can go to, they will help you. But I thank God, and I thank God for the strong foundation I have in Him.
Amen.
And just to encourage people that if you trust in God, then trust in God alone.
Yes.
Because if you mix, then you won't know who has done it for you. Because those that you have gone to also want to take the glory.
Yes.
But God is the one who would have done it. The best doctor, the best medicine, the best healer is God, and just stand with God.
Because God alone, yes.
I had a cousin call me and tell me there's a, what do you call them, white garment church in Luton. Why don't you go there? They can help you. You go, you spend the night, they'll do all night, they'll be praying for you. I said, I don't believe, no disrespect to white garments, but I don't believe in what they do, that they can heal. I don't believe that. I believe if I pray for myself, God is capable of healing me. You don't need somebody else to pray for you or to splash water on you for God's hand to be seen. God works alone. He doesn't need a helper. He doesn't need little helpers like Santa to deliver the presents. He does it alone.
Yes. And, you know, we have direct access to God anyway. From the time that, you know, Jesus died and that, you know, that garment that was closed, you know, sort of blocking the Holy of Holies, you know, that was torn, you know, apart. We had direct access from that moment on, so we don't actually need anybody to stand in there for us to, you know, to pray or to mix up some concoction and try and help us. We've got direct access, so why not just pray ourselves? Really, you know, we've got a God who we can talk to on a daily basis and whenever we need Him. And, you know, obviously, as it is now, we can share this testimony without having to say, "Oh, somebody else did this for us." It was God alone, and we can credit God, you know, for everything.
Sibongile has just joined and she's thrown in a question. What was the problem, guys? Just best explain it in a very quick way or quick phrase for her? She just joined us.
The problem was I lost my sight. I lost the use of my hands. I lost the use of my jaw, my swallowing, my legs. I couldn't move. And I was admitted in hospital. And I got I didn't tell you the diagnosis, did I?
No, no, no. I know it's one name which is very hard to pronounce. You can please help us do so.
It's called myasthenia gravis. So it's a two-word myasthenia gravis.
Myasthenia gravis.
Yes, that's it.
It's an autoimmune condition, which, according to the neurosurgeon, your body thinks there's a disease that it needs to fight, but then there's no disease. So your body ends up fighting your muscles and your veins.
So it's the link between your veins and your
muscles. So instead, when it starts fighting that, then your muscles get weakened. So it could be anything that is weakened from, but they said it normally starts with the eyes, because the eyes have the weakest muscle of the body. So that's why my eyes were the first to go. Yeah.
What I want to understand is, I know you guys, you have children, and it is during those times that sometimes children, they are also affected. Daniel, how did you manage to handle it that the children were not as much affected?
I think for me, it was talking to them as much as I can. At the time, our eldest was actually away in university, or actually he was at home, but then he had to go back to university while she was in hospital. And that was, obviously not a good time, because I'm having to send him over to Leicester, and his mom is in hospital, and I've got the young one who was actually starting college as well at the same time. But for me, I think talking to them on a daily basis was key to actually keep them, going, and to keep them focused as well. I would go with them to the hospital as much as I could possibly do, just so they are much aware of what's going on. And also getting their mom to speak to them, so then they don't think, we're losing our mom and things are not going very well here. But at the same time, making your children realize why some of these things happen to us is actually really key, because God allows us to go through these moments for a reason. And if you don't explain those things to your children, they will just grow up thinking, oh, God is not very fair, because our mom is not well, and what is he doing about it? But you've got to explain, and they would actually understand it fully, and they would take it on board. And it was actually a good thing, because it actually got them to start praying as well, which sometimes when you pray with your children, they sort of wait until you say, oh, let's pray. But this time it was them saying, oh, let's pray. And that is very powerful.
So all of you guys, your faith was strengthened in the Lord.
Yeah. And also, going back to the children, I thank God, because that kind of person who doesn't fail. I don't show that I am ill. Even when my friends came over to see me, they'll say, but you don't look ill, because the only thing that was functioning on my body, to be honest, was my voice. So every time
oh my God.
every time my children came to see me, I'll be sitting up on the bed, and I would chat to them and assure them that even if I die, I would always say to them, even if I die, it's a gain. It will be my time. I'm not always going to be here forever. If I die, then I die. If I'm going to be healed, then it's all in God's hands. I'm going to be healed. But because God had spoken to me in Watford that it will be fine, I kept on telling them that I will be fine. But it was also a good thing, because now my children also believe in faith, and they believe in God. They believe that and they now understand that God speaks to us.
Yes.
Amen.
So tell us about Lillian now. Obviously, at some point, your eyes were dropping. Your hands don't look the same like what you've described to us. Tell us about you now.
Yes. I received a treatment called plasma exchange. It's more or less like chemotherapy. They take out your blood, they take out the bad antibodies, because they call them bad because they are overactive. That's why they are attacking the body. So I went through that treatment, which is a very expensive treatment. And I thank God, because whilst I was in hospital, some people were refused it, or they would say an application has been made, but your application has been turned down for IV. I started off with an IVIG, which is also an expensive treatment. Some people were told your treatment has been refused, your application has been, the doctor does the application, but then the board refuses the application. But I went through all those IVIG. The application was done in the afternoon. By evening, I was already connected to the machines having my treatment, but that didn't work. And then when my consultant saw me after the deterioration, when I came home, the minute she saw me, she said, I need you back in hospital for plasma exchange. That was a Thursday. By Sunday, I was back in hospital. My treatments are always fast-tracked. And it's just so that I can see the hand of God.
Amen. Amen.
So you have to go through these time and again. How often?
No, I did my first one in November, and it worked. As you can see, my hands are fine. I walk. That's why you saw me where we met. I could walk.
Yeah.
I could eat. I can chew. I can swallow properly without choking. Everything went back to normal, and I thank God, because, like I said, for my consultant, because every time she speaks to me, even during this time of lockdown, one day she was just talking to me, and I just said to her, I don't feel right these days, but I was just explaining how I'm feeling. I said, I don't feel right. I feel like my symptoms are starting to come back. And she said, I need you back in hospital again, because maybe we gave you a lower dose of treatment, or we need to increase that treatment, because they are now planning to take out what they call a thymoma, which is on here, it's on the chest. It attracts the antibodies. So they said, even if the antibodies are not there on the thymoma, we just take it out so that there's nothing to attract the antibodies there. So she said, come in, I'll do the plasma exchange one more time before I take out the thymoma. So I just want to thank God. Yeah, I went in 3 weeks ago and came out. Everything went well. Everything was smooth sailing. Whilst I was in hospital, some people were still being refused treatment. And I was just thanking God, thinking, God, you are so good. Nothing that I have ever asked for, or that the hospital has offered for me to do, has been refused. Everything is just smooth sailing. To a point that I ended up telling somebody in hospital, if they've refused you treatment, why don't you pray? And that person said, I don't believe praying will help. I said, it will help if you pray and you speak to God. God works.
Amen. Amen.
And I said to God, this person that I've just spoken to, you better deliver. Because if you don't, it's you who is going to be ashamed, not me. I said, this person does not know you, but this is your time to show them what you are capable of. And within hours, their decision was changed, and they got a new consultant. And I just said, God, you're wonderful. We don't use or ask for as much as we should. That the person said to me, where has this God been all my life? I said, he's been there. It's just that you haven't acknowledged him.
Yes.
You haven't access.
Yes, I can see somebody say, to God be the glory. Thank God for healing
Amen.
you, sister. Yes, your faith has made you well.
Yes.
We give God glory. Oh, yeah. They're just bringing in, but what we can only say, oh, glory be to God.
Yes, all glory be to God.
Amen.
Amen.
I just want to ask you, Sister Lillian, what can you say about your husband? Obviously, he stood by you throughout this journey. What can you say about him that you can encourage other men out there who may be going through a similar situation?
I would say, hold on. Because there's no, I'm not saying this from a selfish point of view, but what if you run away from your wife? If you're in this situation, you run away from your wife, go to the next person. 2 weeks later, they fall ill because you're not guaranteed you're running to
Yes. You become a
You're
runner,
not-
keep on running.
Yeah, so you now become like a person who is constantly on the run and constantly changing. Women, stick to the woman you made your vows to. Because unless you were joking or you were just saying it because the pastor asked you to say in sickness, in health, those vows were written because they knew sickness would come. Riches would come, poorness would come. That's why they were written. They knew all those things would come, or that situation would come. So if you are going to be a runner, then I think it would be best if you start running whilst they are still in good health. It's best.
You know what? I must say I'm not somebody who usually admit that there's somebody who can do something better than me. But in this regard, Daniel, you take the credit.
You surpass them all.
You have gone way beyond. I don't know if God would have given me grace to stand such. But to the people or to the man who are watching right now, what could be a word that would give to them as a man as well?
Well, as we're saying right from the beginning, you make those vows, you got to mean them. You make an oath in front of God and, all the witnesses there, you've got to mean that. And whatever you you sort of attract yourself or attach yourself to, you've got to stick with it. Unless if it's not working, then obviously there's problems there. But for every man, what I would say is you took a vow and you took that position of leading your family. This is it. You've got to lead your family. Regardless of whether things are down, whether things are up, you've got to stick with it because it is your duty. And one of the things, most men, we've got this jealous in us as well. If you run, somebody else is going to look after your woman. Think about it.
You are becoming the man of the moment. Hey, hello guys. It's Kudzi here. I'm seeing Daniel. Yeah, God bless you, Daniel. Everybody's writing about Daniel. No, nobody's talking about me now. The power of yeah, God bless you, Daniel. Lillian, yeah, you are a blessing. Somebody's coming again. It's Daniel now.
It is.
But I thank God for him. I think God handpicked him for me. Specifically for me because
he handpicked you for me.
I know.
So is it true then that they say usually after difficult times people they get very closer, the marriage is strengthened? Is that true? How far true is it?
In a way, yes, I would say it's true. But one of the things that I've always said is whatever situation you go through, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it can either break you or it can build you. And the decision is really entirely up to you what you choose. So in any situation, whether it's bad or even it's good, does it build you? You've got to allow it to build you. If you let it break you, because even where things are good, you still see people who are millionaires still breaking up. And you see all those people who are struggling in life really still breaking up. So it's really what you choose. If you stick with it, it always will go. It never, sort of stays forever, does it? Even if it does, you still made a commitment.
Oh yeah, that's true. You have to stick to the commitment. If you can look at the screen, one of our pastors, Pastor Michelle, is writing the message again. Wow, we have to bless Daniel.
Yes. Thank you, Pastor Michelle.
Yeah. You know what? I said it before that it's one of those testimonies, and every time Priscilla and I are sharing, we always wonder whether God takes people and put them in in an autopilot mode where you are not thinking, because really and truly, you know, if you're thinking soberly, you will just check her to the care home or to somebody else. But to God be the glory. You with the power of God, here we are, and we are testifying, and it is our prayer together with those who are out there. Look at those hands.
Yes.
Testimony. Just
God is so good. God is so good. If somebody can tell me there's no God, I want them to prove it, because I can prove that He's there and He's so good.
Oh, yes.
There is God. And one thing that I so much enjoyed about your testimony is that when everything else was failing, you still had your voice. So you could cry out to God and say, "Lord, have mercy on me." So when everything else was on top of you, you had your voice. How powerful is that?
That's very powerful, yes.
You know what? We would love to have you guys for the whole night, but time will not permit us. We would love Daniel and Lyrian. We know a number of people are watching right now, as well as others who come for a replay. What would be a homework that you would give to them, or tips that you can give to those who are watching right now?
My homework is to men.
Thank you.
Yeah, go on.
I'm listening. Huh? Yeah.
Because I've realized that a lot of men, I don't know whether it's our culture, regardless whether they are from, as long as they are men, tend not to know a lot about the house chores, personal care or anything. I just want to ask men as homework, if your wife were to fall ill today, or would you manage or would you run? Because of the things that you think your wife does. Because to be honest, some men just treat their wives like they are slaves. So the minute that slaves is no longer functional, you are going to run. So my homework for men is, how much of the house chores do you know? Can you do? Can you cope with without your other half there?
Wow. Nice one. And to you, Mr.
Daniel, please, Daniel, jump in quickly. Bail us, please.
Well, my homework really is much more to both ends of the partnership. Really, know the person that you are in a partnership with, or know your wife, or know your husband. And I'm not just talking about the knowing that we knew before we got married, and then we married that person, and the person that I know as the one sitting next to me, but actually knowing what their likes, what they need in their life. Because when a situation comes up, if I didn't know some of the things that she likes, or even how she wanted her hair brushed, I would have walked. If I didn't know how she wants the house to look, I would have struggled with that. But the fact that when she couldn't even dress herself, I knew how she likes to dress, and I could even go, because sometimes the eyes are even closed, I could go and choose the perfect dress for her, dress her up, and she'll be like, "Oh, this was what I had in mind." And knowing those things there actually helps, because you actually know the real inside of a person, and it's not just about, "Oh, I know my wife," and then one day you see her wearing a different type of dress, and you say, "Oh, why are you wearing that? I thought you didn't like that," because you don't know that person anyway. And one of the things, again, is I say, know the person, allow that person to be who they are. That is a big one as well. You've got to allow them to be who they are, because then if you allow them, then when these moments come, you're not going to be in a position where you start to think, "Oh, why are you doing this?" Because you didn't know about it, because now they're bringing a different personality which you were not even aware of, because you were suppressing it. So allow that individual to be who they are, and that particular kind of personality, and even with that, then nothing will ever go wrong. Life will always be good. There's your homework.
Amen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
All our viewers, guys, please share this broadcast. You never know who will be touched by this testimony. I am blessed myself. Both of us are blessed as well. So do share it even after we are off air. Do share with your friends, share with your family. Let them be blessed as you are blessed as well.
You know, they say in confrontation of a river and a mountain, it is the river that conquers, not because of power, but because of perseverance. And we can tell now that it is because of perseverance that Daniel and Lillian, you are where you are, as well as the faith you had in God. And it is our prayer that the Lord will guide you. May His face shine upon you as you keep on going and going for the next treatment. May He be the light ahead of you.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. I'm saying thank you so much for giving us your precious possession, which is your time. Time permitting, God willing, we will meet again on the same channel next week. For me and my beautiful wife Priscilla here, we're signing out. God bless you.
Thank
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
God bless.